perfect knife, one that can save your life. It's tough and capable, formidable and inescapable. Can one knife do it all? From the field to the mall, in the desert or office, for the pro and the novice, for the operator and the legislator, the fisherman, the veteran, the man driving the truck across town. The OG is that one special knife that you need in your life.
Hey guys, welcome into the Quick Cuts channel. My name is Jim, and I'm here to share with you the newest offering from Bob Terzuola Designs and Fox Knives. This is the Fox Knives Original Gangster. From here on out, we refer to as the OG. Now, the OG is a new production version of the infamous A.T.C.F, Bob's Original Tactical Folder. And I've had the chance to review a lot of Bob's work and his designs a few times before, but this time around, I'm even a little bit more excited because this is the closest version to his original A.T.C.F that has been made in a production knife so far, and I think that's pretty damn cool. And that goes all the way back down to the black micarta. It's got a nice feel in the hand. It's great size. It's got a nice action to it all the way around. This is a really well done knife, but there's quite a bit to talk about even though this is the short form review. Now, speaking of that, if you want to see the fully detailed, complete in-depth review, you want to go over to my main channel where you'll get that opportunity. This here is just the short form, quickie in and out kind of review to give you the basic overview of the knife and the specs to help you make that purchasing decision if this is the first time that you're hearing about this. A.T.C.F stands for Advanced Technology Combat Folder and is Bob's most well-known design. The A.T.C.F is the OG, and I think that's why this knife is going to be so incredibly popular. Let's talk about the specs. Your overall length, let's get that bad boy open, is 8.66 inches. Blade length is 3.54 inches in Magna Cut, and the hardness on this Magna Cut is sitting at 62 to 64 Rockwell. So they are giving a good degree of performance to this Magna Cut. Not just going, hey, let's throw Magna Cut on here because that's the buzzword right now and everybody wants it. They have actually heat treated it to a good spec so that it's actually worth going into that material. Blade thickness is 160 thou thick, and your frame here is going to be a stainless steel liner with black micarta over the liner. Clip is going to be bronze anodized titanium. Your back spacer is black G10, and the screws are bronze anodized titanium. Hardware, these are made in Italy, and the weight is 4.59 ounces. Now, the only nitpick that I really have on this knife is the fact that one of the things that is really a hallmark of Bob's design is going to be that thumb disc that you see right there. Let me go ahead and zoom in on it. And on Bob's Customs, these are very deeply checkered. There is quite a bit of traction so that you can choose if you want to slow open it like this, if you want to flick it by pushing off the backside lip, or you can simply push forward on the checkering and flip it out that way. Unfortunately, on this one, the checkering isn't very deep. It's kind of slick, and it's not smooth, but there is a texture, but it's just not as textured as Bob's Customs. Now, again, for a knife that's retailing at $269, you're not expecting it to be everything that Bob's Customs are. Of course not. However, on something as important as the thumb disc, it would have been nice if they could have replicated it just a little bit more closely. They did a good job with the placement and the size and everything else. So dimensionally, it's great. I just wish it had a little bit more bite to it. And the same thing goes for the flipper tab jimping. Now, not all A.T.C.Fs have a flipper tab. Most of them are going to be thumb deployment only, but on the ones that Bob gives you that option where it is a flipper and thumb disk, you've got a good amount of ample sharp jimping on here. On the Fox, my finger slides off fairly consistently as I'm going to flip it. And I do prefer flipping almost always when it comes to having a knife. If it has a flipper tab, I almost always want to flip it. With this one, I do tend to go ahead and flick it with either my finger or my thumb, just because that's a little bit more reliable for me than this very smooth flipper tab. But that's really it, and that's seriously nitpicking. I think overall, it's a fantastic quality knife. It does Bob's design justice, even though I have somehow let a fly in the house. I apologize for anybody having to see that on video. That's super annoying. And what you've got here is a faithful reproduction. The last close reproduction we had wasn't anywhere near the same size, was Bob's A.T.C.F. Light. And this one, being a very, very cool knife, is obviously a much miniaturized version of that same design. But you see it's the same handle shape, it's the same blade shape all the way through. So it's a very faithful reproduction to what the originals are. So anyway, that is your quick look in and out in less than 10 minutes on the Fox Knives and Bob Terzuola original Gangster.